Hello Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. We are going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Sagittarius for the middle of November. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we will be looking at this mid-month update. So, of course, the timeline on this reading is from now all the way to the end of the month. And I do hope that November has been good to you so far. But with that said, let's go ahead and get all of the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the Eight of Wands, Sagittarius. Love this for you. So the Eight of Wands usually can indicate that you're experiencing some type of a breakthrough in life. You know, it's this idea of the clouds clearing. There are actually a lot of things with the Eight of Wands, and I love this card. And, you know, it also can represent that there is some important communication that could be coming your way. This could be, this is from a distance, okay? So this is not face-to-face communication. This is phone calls, text messages, letters, emails, social media posts, those sorts of things, right? And, you know, this is also suggesting that maybe the speed of things, like momentum, right? Momentum is picking up for you, right? You have momentum, and the speed of that momentum is starting to pick up, right? And, you know, as you have this Eight of Wands here with really a set of positive cards, I think that some of you could be getting ready to sort of like turn over a new leaf, so to speak, is kind of what I'm feeling, or like really hit the ground running on something, okay, is kind of what's coming to my mind here, Sagittarius, as I look at this Eight of Wands. You have double aces, which in a tarot reading is always a good sign. And you have some decisions to make, is what I'm thinking here. But I see that you are making moves, Sagittarius. You are making moves here. And let's dive into what this might be around. So in the middle, Sagittarius, you have the Ace of Pentacles. You know, the Ace of Pentacles is, you know, all about planting a new seed of abundance in your life. I see that some of you have been investing recently. And yeah, I'm getting this feeling of like you've been investing recently, okay? And when I use that term, I'm using that loosely in a certain way, right? So like, it's very possible that some of you have been investing in the markets recently. That's very possible. But I also think that you've been investing in yourself. You've been planting a seed in some area of life that you want to see grow for you, as you have this Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and as you can see here, the hand of God or the hand of the universe is saying you have an opportunity here to continue doing this, as you have this hand offering the ace, offering the pentacle, right? And so this can be new money dealings. This can be new, maybe business dealings. This could be a new opportunity to learn something. I would want to see the Ace of Wands for business dealings, but, you know, it could be connected to money, but also for you, this could also just be connected to making investments in yourself, maybe in your well-being. I do see that finances here are very, very important for you during this time, it feels like. Okay, like there is a focus and an emphasis on long-term plans, long-term goals in those areas for you. And what's nice here is that you're achieving some level of a breakthrough in that area. Okay, not just through the through the Eight of Wands, but also through the Ace of Swords. Okay, let's get to this first column here. Okay, so because there's also something very interesting here. In the first column, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So the Three of Pentacles is your colleagues, it's the people that you work with, it's the people that you connect with on a day-to-day basis. So some of you may have a colleague or a work situation on your mind. This upper row is the row of your thoughts or your mind. I actually do think some of you have a work situation in mind here, and there may be a choice that needs to be made in that area. We're going to get into that more as we progress through this reading, but there may be a choice in a work area here that's going on. The broader theme, though, is around money, right? And obviously, you earn money from working, right? But I'm trying to separate those two things because it's a little nuanced, right? Some of you have like a work situation. Could be with a colleague or a project. The Three of Pentacles is, these people here are building a statue. So you have a work situation top of mind, right? Top of mind. And at the same time, the broader theme, maybe separate from that, is about money here, okay? And so hopefully you're with me on that, right? That like those two things are true at the same time here. They're living together, right? Hopefully you're with me on that. Now, you also here have the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. So for some time now, you've considered going in a new direction in life, okay? Prior to this reading. The Seven of Pentacles person is actually considering a new direction for themselves, in their life. The Seven of Pentacles, this is a very important card for you, it seems, because this is around your long-range, long-term money situation, your goals, right? And you see here how they are kind of like, you see their stance here, their pose, right? As they think, they're in a thinking pose, right? As they think about the harvest here. They could choose to let the harvest grow or take it now. And this represents a contemplation of long-range or long-term money goals for yourself, right? And so I see that some of you are like tending to your investments in life. This may be through different retirement accounts or through real estate or through another vehicle, in life. But you're not thinking about you're not thinking about 2025. You're not thinking about 2026. You're thinking about the next decade plus, right? Right now. And, I think that some of you are getting a breakthrough in this area, okay? And I think that you could make some major headwinds, okay, for yourself in those areas. Maybe in this down period, right? Because we're in this Mercury retrograde period of time. This is a perfect time to reassess, right? Anything with RE. Perfect time to reassess, rediscover, review, these sorts of things. So some of you are like undergoing a very important reassessment, review period in your life. And you may be asking yourself like, okay, is this job that I'm in here, is this supporting me? But I actually think that for many of you, you have like a work situation that's top of mind, and that's not necessarily connected to money, right? This is what I'm trying to like really make sure I'm bringing across for you. The Eight of Cups, this person is walking away from a disappointing situation. So we see that there's this contemplation of a change in direction here, right? And I don't think that you've walked away yet. That's the thing. I don't think that you have done that. But you've thought about it. Okay, you've thought about it. This could be in any area. This could be love, but I think for most of you here, this is going to be about a work, career, money situation. The reason I say love is because you do have the Lover's card, but that means a lot of things in the tarot outside of relationships. So in the middle here, you have the Lovers, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. So obviously this contemplation, certainly it could be about a connection or a relationship. Some of you are hanging on to this. Some of you have not actually walked away from this person. And you may also receive a breakthrough in that area. But I'm going to focus on the meat and potatoes here of this reading for most people, which is money and career. So the Lovers, it represents a really important choice in life, right? And I think that this is why you have not taken action on this completely yet. Maybe you've taken small steps, but you haven't fully taken action on, whether it's a work scenario or a money scenario, you haven't really fully made the choice yet, you know? And there's something about commitment here as well that's showing up with the Lovers and the Seven of Pentacles. Something about commitment that is maybe leaving you feeling a little anxious or like worrisome as you think about committing full stop to something, like 100% in on something. I think that the universe at the very least is trying to show you some opportunities here, okay, around what it would look like to commit to something 100% all in, okay? Because you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, which is, they're both two amazing new beginnings, right? Ace of Pentacles, we talked about how that's planting a seed of abundance for yourself in life. And then the Ace of Swords is also a breakthrough card. So you have the two big breakthroughs here with the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Wands. And this is also inspiration, divine inspiration, like feeling inspired in a new way, okay? I think actually some of you may want inspiration right now. Some of you may want to get inspired, Like, maybe the reason that you have been contemplating walking away is because something has become a little stagnant. But, the vibe here is that you haven't walked away yet, and maybe it's not I can't make decisions for you, right? I'm just a YouTube tarot reader. But, like, maybe the universe here is just saying, like, right now it's not the best choice to walk away. Maybe, is there a way to come up with a solution through the stagnancy, right? The stagnation. I think is the right way of saying that. Through the stagnation. Is there a way to, can you do something about it, right? Without walking away. In the final column, you have the Hanged Man, the Judgment card, and the Strength card. So the final column here is all major arcanas, right? Those are major life themes. And, you definitely have something pretty big around the corner. It doesn't feel like it's happening right now. But the Hanged Man, this is somebody who is in limbo, okay? So, this is somebody who's in wait and see. And, it's interesting. We're going to get some clarification on this here because it just doesn't necessarily feel like now is the time to act or strike, so to speak. Even though I'm a huge fan of that, it's not always the time to act, in life. Like, sometimes that can lead us to a place where we don't really want to be, right? And especially in a period of time astrologically like this, right? And then you have the Judgment card here as well, which is, this is like a critical juncture in life or a critical point in life, And with the Lovers and the Judgment card, it's like, yeah, you may have an important decision here. You may be at a critical point here in the future. And you may see the result of something that you've done for yourself in the past show up for you, right? Some seed that you planted in the past, you may see the fruits of your labor here through that Judgment energy that's showing up in this reading. And then you have the Strength card, which indicates bravery, power, courage, confidence. Really positive card. It's Leo energy. Why don't we go ahead? I'm super curious, Sagittarius. I am a fellow Sagittarius rising sign, so I always do love to see these readings for us. But with that said, let's go ahead and move into the clarifications portion of this reading. I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you, and then I'll also pull some tarot cards as well. Okay. Energy on the bottom, you have Lord, take charge with authority. Okay, so this is like the Emperor in the tarot. Usually can indicate success in some area in life, but let's see what else we have here. Okay, so we have Lord, and now we have Knight as well. Knight, be brave and honest. So you do have something about bravery coming in here with the Lord, with Knight, with Strength. Strength is a sign of bravery as well. You have Heart Guardian, Love and Let Yourself Be Loved. Summer, Bask in Joy and Light. I do think something happened here. I'm feeling September for some people, but it may have been through like June, July, August, September, like that time frame. I'm thinking something happened here, and seeing as we're retrograding, it's coming back in here now. You may have had a conversation in November so far, or something along those lines. You have Eagle, See from a Higher Perspective. You have Mirror Guardian, Take Time to Reflect. And then you also have Wise One, Grow Within Your Current Situation. Okay, let's see what else we have going on here. I'm going to go ahead and pull some more tarot cards, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to pull some tarot cards. Now, Sagittarius, do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. Okay. All right, you have the Seven of Wands. You have the Eight of Pentacles, and you also have the Five of Cups. Seven of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Five of Cups here showing up for you in the clarification. So the Seven of Wands is definitely an energy of like standing your ground in the tarot. And, this may mean that there is some workplace competition, okay? Three of Pentacles, Seven of Wands can really point to competition in the workplace. And like I said, there is a work-related thing that is not connected to money that is top of mind for you, okay? It is. And, I would not be surprised to hear for those of you who are in a job that you are dealing with a competitive person. You're in a competitive field. There's a project that you're competing for, like something along those lines, or you're needing to take a stand in the workplace, and it probably involves another person. Whether this is an authority figure, Lord, or this is, someone else here, even somebody at you're equal in the workplace. With the Eight of Pentacles, this represents hard work and dedication. This is a card of dedication. Especially love to see this here with the Seven of Pentacles. Dedication, commitment, these things are important to you. And you're, I think, really analyzing this. You're really contemplating what that looks like for you personally. I think like it's becoming a belief of people right now. I think it's just like where we are, as a society and like as a people, that maybe it doesn't make sense to dedicate your whole self to a job. People used to do that, and that was a very honorable thing to do. And you could get a job, and you could stay in the job for 40 years and retire and have a nice house or at least have a house and, happily ever after, right? Those times are gone. And so I think like people are thinking about this idea of dedication right now, like knowing that if you give your 100% to a job, your 100% self to a job, you could be let go at any time, right? Everybody is expendable, so to speak. And so I think like you and just society at large right now is really contemplating this idea of like dedication to career, and like, is it worth it? I think some of you are probably going to resonate with that. I get a sense that some of you are at your breaking point. Some of you are at your breaking point with someone. Okay, there's like a lot of good stuff happening for you here. But, particularly for those of you in jobs, you're kind of like asking yourself, is this worth it? With the Five of Cups, you have a little bit of a disappointment here that is showing up around a long-term money situation. A little bit of sadness here. Let's see what that might be around. Okay, you have another ace in the same column, so I love this. You have another Ace of Swords. This is very good for you. You have the Eight of Swords, and you have the Three of Pentacles. All right. So you are getting a few repeating messages here. We talked about that Three of Pentacles here in the top left corner, and then we now have this here, right? And we then have the Ace of Swords as well repeating. So this is very good for you because right now, Eight of Swords, you're a bit, you feel like you're tied up a little bit. You feel restricted. You're having a hard time coming up with a solution to something, you know? And what I love for you is that you, at some point during this period of time, it's going to be like turning, like flipping a light switch. You'll know exactly what you need to do, where you need to be, where you need to go, what you need to say. Okay, you are experiencing a true breakthrough here, and it's around a decision, an important decision that you have to make. Probably for many, this will be, is it worth dedicating myself to this career, to this job, to this person? You know? Is it really worth it for me? You know, as you see this Three of Pentacles again coming in here around a breakthrough, and then you have this idea of decision, commitment here with the Ace of Swords. Is this person worth it? You know, if it's a romantic person that you're here for, you know, is this career worth it? Is this, you know, drama that I'm dealing with at work, you know, what's, you know, how, is this something that I really want to be taking on, you know? And I'm just using the drama thing as an example. I can't even say that I necessarily see drama, but I do see competition and maybe a little bit of challenging energy. Nothing like major, but like something you have to wade through, right? Here. Wow, another ace, and it's a repeating ace, another Ace of Pentacles. So we have double Ace of Swords, double Ace of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess and the Six of Cups. Okay, so yeah, this is, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but just what an incredible confirmation that we're getting here. Because, you know, now once again here with this Ace of Pentacles and the Hanged Man, it's sort of like, okay, right now you're wait and see, but you'll know exactly where to plant that seed here showing up. So actually, Sagittarius, I have a feeling that like many of you are not comfortable with this whole wait and see. Like I have a feeling that some of you are not comfortable doing nothing. Yeah, how do I say this? It is uncomfortable for you to do nothing, right? You are not comfortable with doing nothing. I have a feeling that you are always wanting to be doing something. You know, maybe it's taking a walk, going to the gym. You know, those are all very good things. But like this idea of doing nothing is sort of, it doesn't sit with you well. And what I want to say is that like, actually, this is divine timing at play. Okay, right now, this holding pattern that you're in is very important. I know, it's crazy, but that's what the cards are saying. It's very important, okay? And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't continue achieving your goals and accomplishing your dreams, but you will receive a breakthrough here. And it's almost like you don't have to force something is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, Sagittarius, be careful of forcing something right now. If you see yourself in a holding pattern, it's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? Now, if you reassess and, you know, here we are December 20th, you know, over a month from now, and you're still in a holding pattern, maybe that's an issue, right? But as we look at this period of time, right now, it feels like something's kind of needing, like you're needing to be in this holding pattern, right? Trust your own judgment here with the High Priestess and the Judgment card for any decisions that you have to make. And then the Six of Cups is, you know, this is a call to the past. There's something that's maybe coming around. This is a retrograde card, interestingly enough. If there's a past issue that's showing up, the cards are saying, you know, you can be brave and work through this. On the bottom, you do have the Five of Wands. Yeah, there's a conflict here, right? And I think it's probably connected to work, career stuff. All right. Let's see what we have in the Kipper cards and see what's going on here. All right. Courthouse. Okay. Lovers. Pathway. main male, unexpected income, sudden wealth. Wow. Everybody loves to see that sudden wealth card, and it makes sense. For me, you know, as I look at the slot machine card, the slot machine on the card, I associate that card with general luck in life. This is not a call for you to go to the casino or buy a lottery ticket. Rather, it is general luck that could be showing up for you in your life in some way, right? And yeah, could it mean a windfall? It could. It could. With unexpected income and sudden wealth, that's a pretty clear sign. But again, this is not something that you should be, you know, trying to fall back on. Like, you know, if it happens, excellent. Thank you, universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, but this is, you know, what I'm seeing for you as it relates to this reading is that this idea of unexpected income and sudden wealth, unexpected, sudden, right? Let's take those two words, unexpected and sudden. You're getting a breakthrough. It's very clear. An unexpected, sudden breakthrough that absolutely wants to come forward for you, as we talked about throughout this entire reading, you know? And it could take you by surprise. You have the Lovers again. Again, this could be about a choice. It could be about a significant relationship. I'm not sure what's going on with the main male, other than, actually, I kind of do. There is somebody at work that is pushing your buttons a little, testing your willpower. And you see this person is in the, yeah, I don't know if you know this, but this pose is pretty universally known as a pose of anxiety. When people sit like this, cross their legs, put their hand in their chin like this, usually this is a pose that may indicate fear or anxiety or concern. And so there is something that is, like, again, top of mind for you right now. I think it's probably work related, as you do have the occupation card, but overall this looks very good. Pathways your dharma. It's a very good card. It's the, you know, your destiny. It's the path you're supposed to be on. It may suggest 3 to 6 months in the future, but like, let the timeline go. You also have gift here on the bottom. You know, the gift for you might be showing up as this sort of down period. You know, this temporary down period. Wow, Sagittarius, absolutely love this reading for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.